So guys, since we are in the middle of March, I thought it's the best time to talk about those fragrances that will help us to transit from winter into spring. And today I got for you a good old top 10 list of perfumes that will do a great job on that. So keep on watching to find out more about them. But as always in the beginning, I would like to ask those of you who are new here to subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up because they really help a lot. And once you're done with that, we can get started. Hello and welcome everyone to the first spring dedicated video this year. For it I pulled out my hoodie dress that says Hello Spring. Actually, the air is not frosted and cold as it is in the winter anymore, but it is still pretty windy outside, so I thought why not to share with you a good old top 10 list of fragrances that are great for that in between the season period, because they are not wintry anymore but are not fully springy perfumes. So don't forget to drop a comment below which fragrances you are into when we are going from winter into spring. And I'm getting started with all-time favorite Metallic by Tom Ford. You guys know how much I love it, right? Because this is such a special perfume and it checks so many boxes, being powdery, fresh, and really pleasant. There is like kick of aldehydes in the opening, so it's bright, it's clean, it's not soapy, but there is just like this very comforting feel in there. A little bit of spiciness, but not to the point you would call it gourmand or overly warm. It is actually pretty powdery, which I really like about it. It just makes it so comforting to wear it all throughout, like the day, because there is heliotrope, there is Love of the Valley, which is this very clean, springy floral note, and vanilla that's mixed with ambrette, with sandalwood, so it's extra creamy. And at the same time, there is that sparkle of crispness, cleanness, and just freshness of aldehyde. So I feel like this is such an interesting fragrance, and I love to wear it in the spring. Maybe when I'm going out and it's windy like it is at the moment, I just love how it makes me feel. Plus, the sillage fit is just extra long-lasting, and that's definitely a plus. I would say it's unisex, and if you haven't tried it out yet, in my personal opinion, it's so worth your attention because it is one of the most unique fragrances out there, and I personally really love it during the daytime in the spring. But with that being said, one of my newer favorites is this one by Quinto Canto that is called Missy Art. And you guys, it comes in such a stunning white flacon, and as you might remember, I'm a huge fan of this brand overall. And this is such an interesting fragrance because it opens really juicy and bright. There is pineapple in there, lots of different citrusy notes, so it's refreshing, but there is also like a coconutty kick in there. So you might think it's like, this juicy, bright, just mouth-watering, delicious, almost hitting on gourmand fruity scent, but in fact, in the dry down, there is leather and just like this typical Terency woodsiness that makes it smell so expensive. And I also love just a touch of heliotrope that's not as noticeable in here as it was in Metallic, but at the same time it rounds all the edges. There is musk in there, some flowers, but everything is so blurred, everything is so powdery and beautiful, many different elements in there. But I feel like it's also one of these clean and beautiful, very expensive smelling perfumes that is just lovely during the daytime. I also really love leather with raspberry in here, but because of coconut, it doesn't give me that Tuscan leather vibe. In my personal opinion, something refreshing, something absolutely unisex that should be checked by everyone. I just don't know where to place it, but let's just put it there. And I really wanted to put it on your radar. I believe you can get Quinto Canto perfumes from So Avant-Garde webshop, if I'm not wrong, and I will leave some helpful links for you down below in the description box, so feel free to check it out. But on that note, we are moving on to the next perfume, and I feel like it just screams spring because Divine, let me check the name again, Dancer by Exaltatum London is such like a bright and very mouth-watering, I would say, floral fragrance that hits on aquatic, which is something very interesting. We have like a blast of fruitiness in there, which is slightly exotic because besides, blackcurrant and just other, mouth-watering, delicious, juicy notes. There's also guava. So I believe it's like an exotic tropical fruit. There are lots of aquatic notes, so it kind of makes you feel you're drinking a cocktail, and there are just floating exotic fruits in there. At the same time, we have lots of flowers in here, and as it evolves on the skin, you know, that freshness, that aquatic fruity kick, it just turns into something like transparent and very intensely floral. We have so many different notes in here, like lilies, rose, champaca, osmanthus, jasmine, violet, but there is also musk with some wood. So I would say it's quite a long-lasting, very refreshing fragrance that's perfect for the time when it's raining outside or when it's just really humid. I find it performs well during that weather. It is very unisex, and I would highly recommend you to check it out in case you're more into fruity and fresh floral perfumes. But if you want to take it to another level and you just love how maybe, you know, all the trees and plants smell after a great spring rain, because can there be something better than a spring rain? There is a fragrance for that too, and it is called Aurora par Charles Wong. It comes in a very beautiful bottle. There are actually 3 perfumes in the collection. They are sitting here, but I really want to talk about this one because it's just spring in a bottle for me. It's a very classy fragrance, kind of like CK1 type of perfume with, you know, this very watery, but this time green, not fruity vibe. There are watery notes, cassis, fig leaf, lotus, seawater, freesia. It has this mineral feeling, and it just smells like a spring rain, refreshing. You can smell maybe even like you know, not only the plants and the raindrops on, you know, the trees and the leaves, but even some ground. Maybe it's because of the rice and bamboo note in there, I don't know. But although it's like this very crisp fragrance, it is super long lasting, very unisex, chic, slick. You can wear it, you know, maybe to more formal occasions because it's so classy. But something that is my comforting scent, and now we are moving towards those very pleasant and just enveloping fragrances, is Evernia by Ormonde. By the way, guys, Ormonde, not Ormonde, I'm running you through this list, but that's because I'm truly excited and I just can't shut up. So Evernia is a very special perfume, in my personal opinion, one of the most well-blended fragrances out there that just smells so elegant. Top notes in here are blackcurrant and pink pepper. I really smell them. I like, you know, the crispness of black currant, and at the same time, you know, sharpness, and at the same time a round feeling of pink pepper. But overall, most noticeable notes in here to me are cashmere, orris root, and oak moss. Extremely textural notes, more base notes, and they just create like this magical feeling of wearing an extremely aromatic fragrance that smells truly luxurious. I mean, like, you can wear it on a date, you can wear it to the office, you can wear it for your own pleasure, and it's great when the weather is not the best outside and you just really want to feel great in your own skin, and you just want this comforting fragrance, but at the same time you want it to smell expensive. You know, like, niche perfumes can smell really, really bougie, and it's one of those perfumes. There are some floral notes in here, but they are way more in the background than the ones I've told you about. And in case you wanna check it out, I highly recommend you to do so. You can get a sample of it from Equation Natural. The link is below. I even have a discount, so definitely feel free to use them. That's kind of like a win-win situation for us. And I just want to mention another great fragrance from Ormonde that's called Sakura in a spectacular bottle. I will talk about it more in the second spring dedicated video that I planned for next month, and it's gonna be about fragrances that smell like beautiful spring flowers, because this one is about cherry blossom. I feel like it's also very spring appropriate. So just in case you'll be checking out Evernia, which is really unisex and is gonna be a great addition to your perfume collection, like that working horse in your fragrance wardrobe that you will be able to wear over and over again. I mean, like, it's not only like a transitional fragrance, it's an overall great luxurious niche perfume. So I highly recommend you to check it out. But let's talk about another great, comforting, cozy perfume that I feel is great during the spring. I just know it performs best in the springtime, and I'm talking about a Lost Alice by Musk Milano. I mean, like, it's so cute. Being gourmand, that's not sweet, it's something truly special. We have amber seeds in here, black pepper, clary sage, carrot, orris, black tea, white rose, milk, sandalwood and brown flower. So it's kind of like a tea ceremony in a bottle with this creamy and very beautiful sandalwood that is so warm because of milk. I mean, like, it is gourmand, it is really yummy, but it is not sweet at all, which is something very special. And it's not the loudest perfume, but it's just something a bit more intimate, something to be worn when you want more like of this gorgeous yash around you, and you just want a fragrance that's maybe more on the atmospheric side. I feel like during the spring, maybe also during autumn, those fragrances perform the best. They are most appropriate for in between the seasons, and Lost Alice is such an interesting fragrance, especially if you love sandalwood and you love tea notes in perfumes. There is just like this beautiful texture of amber seed as well, plus carrot and milk make it more special. So I highly recommend it to men and women, and if I'm not wrong, you can get it from Avant-Garde web shop as well. I have discount as always for you, so go ahead, give it a try. But another gorgeous springtime fragrance is Nuit Bleue by Maison Violet. You guys, look how much I've used it up. I mean, like, it's such a fantastic fragrance that is so worth your attention, especially if you are into glamorous fragrances, because we have iris in here as a star, but it's not one of those ruddy or overly powdery irises. It is really fresh. We have like a punch, like a blast, like an explosion of citrusy notes in here, and they are yellow. Lemon, bergamot, they make it smell so bright and so just uplifting. It's one of those fragrances I just love to apply in the morning, you know, when it's sunny outside and maybe it's a warmer day and I want something refreshing, yet I want my fragrance to last all day. I would definitely grab this one, because iris is something very me. I just love my irisy, orrisy perfumes, but I like the lightness, the freshness, the, you know, like this very casual vibe of it. At the same time, it makes me feel put together and just glamorous throughout the day, because it grows on me. Being such, you know, quite a discreet fragrance, it is extremely long lasting, more floral, more musky, more citrusy and unisex. So I would highly recommend you guys to give it a try, because I feel like if you get a smaller size of it, which you can from their official website, link is below, my discount as well, you can just throw it in your purse or put it in your car and just apply it throughout the day, and it will lift you up. And you know, like during the spring, when, you know, the weather awakes after this wintry sleep and everything is just so youthful, so is this fragrance. So it goes extremely well, you know, with the vibe of spring. And if you want a spring, whoa, almost dropped my fragrance, you definitely need to check it out. Anyway, something cleaner, something also floral but different, because it's quite musky, is Al Hermène's Royal Musk. I mean, like, this is such a go-to springtime perfume for me, because it just makes me feel like I am the best smelling person in the room, which I am most of the times, but with this fragrance, it just elevates my fragrance game. It is extremely musky, but hear me out, sometimes musky perfumes can be heavy. This one is very bright. It smells cosmetic-y, it smells powdery. That might be not everybody's type of fragrance, but I love the green apple in there. I love, you know, some violet leaf in there. So those notes, they just bring in some more fun and flirty element to the fragrance that really evolves as a very musky perfume, and that's where it smells really chic. I mean, like, you can't go wrong with a fragrance like this. That's for, it's an easy grab for men and women. I mean, like, the entire I mean, like, this musk collection, I can't think of the name, but it's phenomenal, and all fragrances are very different. So go ahead, give it a try. I have a review for you, and I just wanted to mention this particular fragrance because it's something, you know, something so chic, something that goes well with spring, because I feel like for summer it's too much, for winter it's a little bit too ethereal. I love heavier fragrances in the winter, so spring is like the best time for me to wear it. And if you love musk in perfumes the way I love it, then it's definitely a must try. But anyway, now let's talk about two absolutely special perfumes, one of which is called Human by the British niche house Ilk Perfumes, that I'm a big fan of, and it was a part of kind of a limited edition duo. There was Nature and Human. The idea behind it is phenomenal. Bella is such a creative director, and like her creative force behind the brand is so, how do you say when you're inspired by people? Inspirational? Anyway, you guys, I love this scent with the ginger, with the mushrooms, with the rice steam, iris, matcha note, moss, sandalwood, salt. I mean, like, it smells like you're going to the forest, maybe after the rain, maybe not, maybe on a beautiful sunny or a cloudy day. And you guys, like, there is note of concrete in there, so it was inspired by something human built, human made, but it's like spring in a huge city when you can still smell, you know, that beautiful moist ground, or I don't know, water on the houses. It's such a beautiful fragrance that plays with your imagination, yet so wearable, because there is like a skin accord in there. It smells really sensual. It just changes on your skin, you know, the saltiness, the green punch of matcha, yet powderiness, and like this mushroomy, spicy vibe. It's something very special, not for everyone, but I wanted to include something so creative and artistic on today's list, like a hidden gem that's now on your radar. Another one, Nature, is just perfect for spring as well, but I wanted to show this one a bit more love. And finally, I also want to talk about a darker option for the springtime, because you know, it's just like such a youthful and hopeful season when we prefer maybe lighter fragrances. And I want to talk about something that's a bit darker and moody, and for me that's the Cobra and the Canary by Imaginary Authors, one of the most interesting perfumes out there. I've never smelled anything quite like it before, and that's because it really reminds me of driving in my car when it's a bit warmer outside, so you can actually let the windows down and just enjoy, you know, kind of like this sunset magical moment. I mean, this is more of a nighttime fragrance, like transitioning from the day into the night, after the sunset, like dusk time. Oh my god. It smells of tobacco, it smells of orris and leather. So it was a warm day, but you know, in the evening it is getting colder, so you might want to throw on your leather jacket, and as you're driving, you know, you just smell the asphalt underneath your car, and maybe you're going outside, out of the city, and you know, there is like a beautiful countryside, so you can smell the hay coming from the field. And I just don't know, like this irisy note, it just also makes it more textural, not as powdery as, let's say, Nuit Bleu was, but it's like a darker, more mysterious and very springy fragrance. That's the only time I wear it, and I just love to pair it with my, you know, edgy and just, you know, a bit rock and roll leather jacket. I find it such a badass perfume that is extremely wearable. So just in case you're looking for something like that, highly recommend you to check it out. And guess where you can get Imaginary Authors fragrances from? Those are Equation Natural web shop in case you're in Europe, or for example, So Avant-Garde if you're in the US. Feel free to use my discounts, because that way you can help me out a lot and just save a little bit. checking out great fragrances. I'm looking forward to hear from you. If you have any questions left, I'm here to answer them. And what I would like to know, which fragrances do you like to wear in spring, or when we are transitioning from winter into spring, when it's not that warm yet and there are still like a few pretty cold wintry days. I'm excited to hear from you, and if you have any requests for future content, there are video ideas on your mind, don't hesitate and just drop them down below. And on that note, follow me on my social media to stay in touch. If you enjoyed watching this video and maybe learned something interesting from it, give it a huge thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're here for the first time. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to stay tuned and smell good. We'll see each other next one really soon, and you can donate to the Buy Me Coffee website to support me even more. Bye guys!